Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I'm Nikki McCutchen. I will be your host for tonight. We are so excited you're here. Please just know that whoever invited you to the call tonight must really care about you to want you to know about this technology. The call tonight will be for 30 minutes. We will be talking about this amazing technology that we are truly watching change people's lives. And we are so thrilled every time we get to share it with people. So with that, we'll start with our medical disclaimer. Tonight, what we'll be sharing is for informational purposes only. All LifeWave products are not intended to treat, cure, diagnose, or prevent any dis-ease. If you're on medications or have medical conditions or are pregnant or nursing, please check with your healthcare practitioner first. And with that, we will get started chatting about this really cool, tiny little patch is what we're going to be talking about. And I'm going to explain all of it to you. So we are recognized under the FDA as a general wellness product. Our company has been around for over 20 years. This is a class 1 medical device, completely non-transdermal. What that means is that there's nothing that transfers from this patch into your body. So that's different than what most people are used to. Most people are used to some type of transdermal patch, meaning that it transfers something from the patch into your body, like an estrogen patch, a vitamin patch, a nicotine patch. All of those things transfer things into your body from the patch. This is completely different from that. It is sealed on both sides with medical grade plastic, completely hypoallergenic adhesive. And so there's nothing that transfers. Okay. So it's made of organic amino acids, salts, and sugars in a crystal lattice structure that's reflective. That's actually a scientific term, a crystal lattice structure. It's reflective like a mirror. And I'm going to explain how that works here in a minute. This technology has a 96% effectiveness rate. Rarely are there things that you find that have that high of an effectiveness rate. So what that means for you is you can absolutely be sure that this technology is doing something in your body. Now, does that mean that you can always feel it? No. Doesn't mean you can always feel it, but is it activating the peptide that we're going to talk about tonight? Is it actually activating that peptide and then allowing the peptide to work as the body has designed, the way that God gave us that peptide and for that peptide to work in our body? Yes, there are many different ways to find out if, even if you don't feel the technology working, if it's actually working. So when we can talk about that later as well, but just be assured 96% effectiveness rate. Truly, there is nothing else in the world that does what X39 does, the way that it does it, being able to activate this in particular peptide that's really known as the Holy Grail of healing, because it activates stem cells in your body, and because there's also a long list of other things, not just stem cells, but a very long list of other things that it actually turns on in the body as well. It's extremely affordable. The only thing that even comes close to comparison is an actual stem cell injection. Those are thousands and thousands of dollars, don't always work, are localized usually to in particular area of what you're trying to, fix or have healing in a certain area. This works systemically throughout the body because we are talking about turning on something in your body that's already there, causing the body to work the way that it was designed, the way that God designed us, promoting that kind of restoration in the body because it's already there. It just needs the support to say, hey, time to get up and get busy. And that's what light technology does for you. It's patented. We have over 200 patents. There's over 90 clinical studies. You can actually go and look at all of those at patchtheway.com. So just scroll down. You will find the patent section with the clinical studies. There's tons of information on that website, patchtheway.com, PATCH, theway.com. All kinds of videos from people sharing their stories, videos explaining the technology, doctors talking about how they utilize the technology in their practice with their patients. So that's all on patchtheway.com. Again, there's no other product in the world that does what X39 does. So how does this actually work? It works through a process called photobiomodulation. That's just a big word for light making change in the body. You all actually already understand what this is, because every time you step out into the sun and the sun hits your skin and your eyes, it tells your body to make vitamin D. And then your body sends that vitamin D in all the different areas that it needs to go to in the body. It works the way that it was designed. God gave us the sun, he gave us our skin, and that's what turns on the vitamin D and does so many other things. There's so much healing in the sun that we have that we don't even know yet. Science hasn't even uncovered all the healing modalities that come from the sun for us, that are specifically designed for us. It's just truly amazing. So so we now become the light source and the heat source. We do not need the sun for this patch technology to work. Our bodies become that light and heat source that now is reflected off that crystal lattice structure, reflecting back into the body, turning on a specific peptide. This also sounds a little strange. I totally get it. But you already know what this is as well, because every time you watch the movies or you talk to someone who's been in the military and they have to go on night missions and they're using night vision goggles and they're looking through those night vision goggles, and what they're talking about is a heat signature. That heat signature scientifically is a low-grade infrared light that comes out of our bodies at every place. Okay, so that infrared light is now what is being reflected from that patch back into the body, turning on GHK copper peptide. This is what's known as the holy grail of healing because of all the things that GHK copper peptide does. It was found over 50 years ago by Lauren Picard. So there's 50 years of research on GHKCU. So you can Google it. You can look it up on PubMed. There's pages of information on the research that's been done on GHK copper peptide. One of the things that it does is it activates stem cells. So it resets 4,000 genes to a younger, healthier state. So think about that for a second. So if you know what your DNA is, in your DNA, there are things that don't work right. So you may be predisposed to some kind of DNA mutation or issue later on down the road. Well, if your GHK copper peptide decides to reset that in particular gene to a younger, healthier state, that means that you're no longer, you're sure you're predisposed, but it's reset it to a younger, healthier state. So you're not moving in the way of the mutation, which is truly phenomenal. So then enter stem cells. So when you can turn on stem cells were once, every cell in our body was once a stem cell. This also turns on that type of stem cells that then your body can send to any area of your body to have regeneration. So what that means for you is anything is truly possible in your body, and ultimately God decides. God decides where it goes. Your body decides. It's our innate intelligence working the way that it was designed to work. Now being able to have true regeneration in any area that your body may deem necessary. So for example, I've been using the technology for over 2 years now. I've had some different scans, body scans for different things. And my thyroid showed distress 6 months ago. Here's the cool thing. This is why I'm telling you that at any time, the technology is always working, even if you don't feel it. I had no idea there was anything going on in my thyroid. Same as you. You may go to your doctor, they may run tests and they may say, you need to be on thyroid medication. And maybe you didn't have any symptomology for that. But with this, I had no idea. Well, I was able to apply the patch. She's able to rescan me, and it showed my thyroid coming back into balance. Now, what that tells you is that my thyroid needs help, and my body is actually sending stem cells to that area, and it's working on reducing inflammation and supporting the area of my thyroid. Okay, so that's instantaneous result in the same visit. Scan, rescan with the patch on. Okay. So now going back in 2 years later, well, that was 6 months ago. So 6 months ago, but it's, I don't know. I didn't have scans before that. So I don't know if it was working on my thyroid at that point earlier than that or not. But so now it shows scanning, no patches on, my thyroid has no distress. So what that tells me is that my thyroid has completely regenerated. Okay, again, I had no idea there was anything going on with my thyroid. I didn't have any symptomology. So it's an area that my body deemed necessary, that my thyroid needed to be regenerated. So now my thyroid is completely regenerated. Now, if I didn't have this technology, my thyroid would have just continued down the path of wherever it was going to go, to where I would have eventually developed symptomology and had issues. And so that will not be the case for me and my thyroid anymore. Praise the Lord. That's what I have to say about it. Praise the Lord. So anyway, so that's what you can see, is that it's sending things all over your body, your stem cells, to regenerate, and you may not feel anything. So if you need that reassurance, get with whoever invited you to the call tonight. Have them help you figure out where you can get a scan done. Or even, here's the deal. You can go in and you may run tests 6 months, 12 months, recurring with your doctor. You start on this technology, and what's going to happen is it's going to show up in that blood work that your doctor does 6 months later, a year later. There will be things that have changed and improved. I see it all the time. And so that's why I always tell people 6 months, when go back into your doctor, run some tests, 12 months, whatever it might be, run those tests. Even if you're not feeling anything with the technology, you can be rest assured that it is allowing your body to work the way that it was designed, because it's activating GHK copper peptide. Okay, so that's one major area of your body, stem cells. Anything's possible. Number 2, cardiovascular. This technology supports your cardiovascular system at the mitochondrial level, the entire cardiovascular system. Every 6 weeks that you utilize the technology, it reverses the age of your entire cardiovascular system at the mitochondrial level by 8 weeks. So do the math. Every 6 weeks, you get 2 extra weeks of reversal. 6 weeks, 2 extra weeks of reversal. So imagine what can happen with that. Okay. I have a friend who has a heart. Actually, I probably know 3 personal people now who now utilizing the technology for over, my one friend was only 9 months. But other friends after a year, and their heart conditions are showing reversal. That's why this is based on a clinical study that actually shows this. So know that your heart is being supported. Another thing, so that's 2 major systems: stem cells, cardiovascular, your brain. Okay. Again, another friend, he had a certain brain condition to where he went back in 9 months later for testing. His brain is showing new neural pathways that are being created. His doctor said, that's impossible. It can't happen. And my friend was like, but you just told me that that's what you're seeing on the test. And he's like, it is what I'm seeing on the test, but it's impossible. Anything is possible. So my friend's response was, I got God and I got patches. So anything is possible with God, and anything is possible with this technology. That's what's amazing. Now, did my friend knew that he had a brain condition and a heart condition, this really extensive condition that he has. He knew those things, but he felt nothing with this technology, felt nothing going on with his heart, felt nothing going on with his brain, but yet the technology is always working, like I'm telling you. So those 3 things. A 4th thing. So enter collagen. Oh, I forgot to say about the brain. So on the clinical studies as well, around 6 weeks, a lot of people will feel anxiety and depression lift, brain fog lift, more brain clarity come back. I had all of those things. I had my brain clarity come back. I wasn't forgetting things. I can remember now conversations that I will have with people like I used to when I was younger. So I was really sad to be losing that and just not remembering conversations, and knew that's what's so crazy, right? Like I knew I had a conversation with that person, but I did not remember that we talked about that at all. And so I hated that. And so I am so thankful that my brain clarity has come back in that way. So, fourth thing, your collagen. So, the collagen, most people think that's hair, skin, and nails. Okay. Are we all excited about hair, skin, and nail? Yes. That's why collagen is all the rave. Most really high quality collagens, like the most I've seen so far, has about 9 different types in it, a really high quality collagen. But those are all mostly addressing things around the elastin, the collagen, your skin, your hair, those kinds of things. This elevates collagen from the base. What most people don't understand is that collagen is actually the glue that holds your body together. It is in every part of your body. And here's the crazy thing, your collagen begins to decline about the same way that your stem cells do. So with stem cells, by the time you're 30, about half of your stem cells are no longer operating optimally. Collagen is about the same way in the body. By the time you're 60, only 10% of your stem cells are any longer operating optimally in your body. Collagen again is declining at about that same rate. So you can see why we all have aches, pains, illness, disease, all of these things that start to set in because our stem cells don't operate optimally. Our collagen is in every part of our body. So it's in the fascia that runs through your entire body. It's in your ligaments, your tendons, your cartilage. It even makes up the meridian system. So the meridian systems in our body, that's not something like for acupuncture that's mystical. It is a true system in our body that is made up of collagen, teeny tiny little spindles of collagen fibers. Those run all throughout our body. That's made up of collagen. So it's literally the glue that holds us together. And I have been telling you all wrong. I've been saying there's 29 different types in the body. I listened to a doctor. I should have asked ChatGPT or something like that before I just decided I was going to requote this doctor that I'd listened to. It's actually 28. So he was close. So 28 different types of collagen are all now being supported, activated, elevated by GHK copper peptide. Coolest thing ever, right? Okay, so then the fifth major thing I want to talk to you about is our immune system. DHK copper peptide supports your immune system. We all want that. We all want better immune support. We are constantly under toxic assault in the environments that we live in today. And so to have that extra support is phenomenal. Here's the thing. I just talked about 5. Go Google it. You are going to find a very long list of things that GHK copper peptide actually does in the body. Truly, truly phenomenal. And that is why it's called the Holy Grail of Healing. But those are major systems that I just talked to you about. So here's what I would tell you. You want to set yourself up for success and plan to pursue optimal health. This is a tool in your toolbox that you are going to use to pursue optimal health. So you want to decide that you're going to just wear this, apply it in the morning when you get up, take it off at night before you go to bed. So 12 hours on, 12 hours off. The next day you put on a brand new patch. This is going to be a part of your life in pursuing optimal health for 6 to 12 months. And then if you're, most of us are going to feel something. Are there people who don't? Yes, there definitely are people who are not feeling something. And that's when, instead of deciding that the technology doesn't work, you want to then go have some test results run. Go figure out what's going on with you. Here's the other thing too. Something else, just to stay in touch with whoever invited you to the call, because they should be able to tell you. The other thing is that you also want to know, like, your copper levels are important in operating, in having GHK copper peptide actually work properly in your body. So if for some reason you've gone along 3 months, I will tell my people, if you're not necessarily feeling anything, you need to go have your copper levels checked. Have your electrolytes, your magnesium and your potassium checked. Okay. So the cool thing is in June, we will have a technology that comes out, or a product that's coming out, that you can just opt to take that will make sure that all of those things are in balance, which is really nice. Some of us are getting to take it now, which is fantastic. And so we don't have to worry about those things. But those are things that you should be able to talk to the person who invited you and find out, okay, maybe I want to go have these, tests run to see if maybe I have some of these imbalances that are going to help GHK copper peptide work in the body. Does it mean the technology is not working? No, it just means it's not able to work as optimally as we would like it. And so having that copper in the right balance in your body and having magnesium and potassium imbalance in the right levels in your body helps GHK copper peptide work better, which is true for all kinds of things in our body, right? When we have different things that help those things work optimally. Hydration is key. Half your body weight in ounces every single day. If you sweat, if you get in a sauna, if you work out, if you wear this patch technology, I would recommend that you try to even get in more than half your body weight in ounces. So if you weigh 50 pounds, that would be 50 pounds. That would be crazy. 100 pounds is even a little bit crazy, but let's say 100 because that's easy math for me. So 50 ounces of water a day is what you would want to get in, and just have that be a little bit more anytime you're doing any kind of detoxification. And so this technology does help with detoxification because it elevates your glutathione in your body by 30%. Just again, GHK copper peptide, all the amazing things that it does in the body. So 12 hours on, 12 hours off. You can wear it anywhere on your body. We do have clinically tested spots that you can actually wear it anywhere that you would like to. I tell people if they have pain in a spot, just to put it on the pain spot. Pop it anywhere you want to is totally great. It's going to activate that peptide. So please feel free to come on and ask questions. You can raise your hand. You can type them in the chat. If you have a story you want to tell us. Pastor Ed saying 9 months of wearing X39 will reverse 1 full year in the body. Wow. Okay. That's incredible. And that's interesting too, right? I was looking at an article the other day that just talks about the different, all the different, everything in our body turns over. Like we get a new liver. I don't remember. I'm going to say the wrong thing, but like we get a whole new liver. Our skin system. We have things that are constantly turning over in our body. So that's pretty fascinating. 9 months of wearing the X39 will reverse 1 full year in the body. Yes, Miss Vicki, please come on.
Hello there. So, yeah, I've noticed, and I've been wearing the technology for almost 4 years. I have noticed recently that because when I first started the technology, I used to bleed a lot. Like I was on a blood thinner in the bladder solution that they were instilling in my bladder. And that caused me to bleed because it was to prevent blood clots. So I don't bleed like I used to, and I don't bruise like I used to either.
Yes, that's amazing. And I will tell you too, for me as well, I don't bruise like I used to either. So, see, Pastor Ed, he's so good. Look, y'all. So in the chat, he has put when your organs regenerate. So if you want to grab that, how they regenerate and how fast it. So feel free to grab that in the chat. That's phenomenal. Thank you so much, Pastor Ed.
Yeah,
I love
I'm
it. I love it.
screenshotting that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's exactly right. Yes. Yeah. You may send it to me, Pastor Ed, so I can put it on my Telegram page.
I'll send it to you.
Okay, awesome. So perfect. Yeah. So I'll just tell you a few things just in this last week. I've been trying to get in the habit of writing down in who I'm talking to and people that I'm working with, in a week's time to just come on each week and kind of tell you. So what I've seen in the last week is that gal's nerve pain went from an 8 to a 2. And that was instantly with some of our technology. Just truly amazing. Is it regenerated yet? No. That was just help with pain and inflammation right away because we have a technology that also helps with just full body inflammation. It activates peptide. That's what it does in the body is reduce inflammation. So hers went from 8 to a 2 in pain. Another gal with all kinds of I'm not going to say a condition because we don't treat, cure, diagnose, but basically like full, body pain, like when she, somebody would, pinch her or here at the elbows, like, or she would just pinch herself, she would end up having, radiating pain or lingering pain. And there's lots of points in the body she was having that at. But basically she started on the technology, just me impatching her in one day. And all of that was like when she would pinch herself, it wouldn't radiate, stopped radiating. working, it wouldn't linger. And so that was all real quick. Again, is it regenerated? No, it's not regenerated yet, but it's showing that it's going to work immediately. It won't show that on everybody, but it does happen. Um, Oh, yes. And also wanted to remind you that we are going on these Monday night calls. We are going to start doing like a wheel of names. So please invite anyone new that hasn't used the technology yet. We're going to put their names on a name of wheels, and one person will win a 5-day supply of X39. And so please, we're going to start doing this every Monday night. We want to be able to give back to those new people that are coming on the call, allow them to experience the technology. Again, in 5 days, it's highly unlikely that they will feel anything, but it will at least give them a chance to just, experience it and basically see how easy it is. You put on a tiny little patch and go on about your day. It doesn't get any easier than that. Yes, Miss Vicki.
So, since you were talking about nerve pain gone for your friend, so you just made me remember when I had the bicep surgery back in November that I had some nerve damage in my forearm from the surgery,
Mhm.
and I didn't have much feeling, and that is like almost completely gone. So, and another thing that I noticed, I some days I'll have like a sharp pain in there, and I'll think, oh my goodness, it's, kind of hurting. But I think what's happening is the regenerating process is happening, because then the next day it doesn't hurt at all. And I feel like I can feel like the touch now. Before I couldn't feel anything.
Yeah, that's so interesting, right? Because a lot of times
Yes.
we associate with pain being bad. Where
Hmm.
it's just like, okay, if there's a pain, it's bad. But when nerves are turning back on, that can be painful. When things are starting to reconnect, there can be pain associated with that. And so allowing this technology to do its thing, allow it to go through the process, again, committing to pursuing optimal health and what that's going to look like with just making it as easy as putting on this patch. And yeah, sometimes there could be things like that, but like you said, Vicki, I mean, you're getting your feeling back now, which is huge. I mean, that's huge. I mean,
Yes.
like, what else would you have had access to that would have created that? Like,
Nothing.
that's exactly. There's nothing else out there. And even if you think about so I just talked about 5 major systems. Think about if you had issues in any of those 5 areas, the numbers of medication you
Mm,
would have to be on to support those areas. I mean, I'm guessing, I don't know, 15, 18, a lot. You would have to be on a lot of medications.
yeah.
So think about the cost associated that, not to mention the side effects associated with that. Or
Mm,
let's say you choose to use vitamins, you choose to use supplements, something like that. So that's hundreds and hundreds of dollars of
yeah.
supplementation to support all of those 5 areas. And again, I didn't even talk about all the other. I mean, I think there's like over a list of 80 different things that GHK copper peptide actually does in the body. You couldn't even take enough supplements to support all that in the body. So just turn on the peptide that God gave
That's
you
true.
so it can work the way He designed it to, right?
Yeah, and it
Oh,
would be a guessing game at that point also.
exactly. That's exactly right. Yeah. Um, okay. So, okay. Anybody else? I'm trying to think of what else. Oh, here we go. Did you use any specific patch? Oh, so Ricky's wanting to know, Vicky, did you use any specific patches for the bicep pain?
Yes, I did. I used, actually, I popped the spot with a lot, like Nikki says. I used 2 sets of the YH patches. So I did 2 carnosines, 2 glutathiones, 2 eons. And some days I would have like 1 set of ice wave up by my bicep and the other set down on my forearm and an X39 somewhere in there. So as long as I was bombarding that area, the main thing for me was I was so surprised when the cast was removed that I had this tiny little, like a mark on my arm. It didn't even look like a bruise at that point. And I was expecting it to be a lot worse. So I was just shocked at the healing process that quick.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's what's crazy. When I had my surgery too, it was crazy because I would have expected my entire lower leg to be completely bruised. And it went straight from, surgery to that yellowing, like already in the healing process. So,
Yes.
it's truly amazing how it really supports your body in the ability to remove inflammation. When you remove here's another interesting fact that your stem cells are attracted to inflammation because that's its signal there's an issue going on in this area. Okay. But as you age, you have less stem cells. And the more the inflammation goes up, then your body's sending stem cells to regenerate an area, but it's constantly inflammation eats the stem cells. So they constantly get eaten up. So when you can reduce inflammation and then actually send in more stem cells, you're able to regenerate faster, quicker, have, reduced recovery time for sure, which is fascinating. So, okay. So Ricky's saying he had surgery 17 years ago on your bicep. Is your bicep still hurting, Ricky? Probably trying to answer.
Yes,
It's still
yes, it's
hurting.
still hurt. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so I would even say, Vicky, what do you think? Even since it's
I was
been so
just,
long ago, you might just put them right on the bicep, and I
yeah.
wouldn't say you need to use multiple ones necessarily
No,
since
I
it's
would
been
just
such.
use an X39 and a carnosine since it's like muscle related. So it would definitely help regenerate that area.
Mhm.
Okay. It especially hurts when it gets cold.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So yeah, try that and
Okay.
definitely let us know. Let us know how that
Okay.
goes for sure. Yeah.
I will.
And and that's the
Thank
other
you.
thing is like if you have an issue like with this, surgery and your bicep hurting, um, if you have something else going on in the body that is the body deems more important for life, so it works in a triage fashion, meaning it's going to go to the most critical area first. So if you have something going on with your brain, with your heart, with your thyroid, with your liver, with some other organ, well, it's not going to worry about the bicep pain. It's going to try to regenerate these other areas. And like with my friend with the brain and the heart condition, I would have thought that your body would have picked, like it would have picked one to go and work on, but it worked on both of them. And so he literally in 9 months started seeing regeneration in his brain and his heart, which literally blew me out of the water. I mean, I told him, I was like, I don't even know. I don't even know what can happen with this. All I can tell you is like, let's just plan on 2 years. Just plan on wearing the technology for 2 years, and we'll just see what will happen because his condition is just so fascinating that it's really even a miracle that he's actually even alive, which is just crazy. And then for his body to then have access to what it needs to regenerate is truly jaw dropping. So we are over time, but please come back and join us next Monday. Please bring friends. We would love it to be one of your friends that we get to give a 5-day supply of X39 to. So definitely, please join us again next Monday, 30 minutes. We also have a Wednesday night call. Wednesday night will be over all of our patch technology along with our business opportunity. We will share that on Wednesday nights. That calls for an hour, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then Thursday night, please come back. We will have an amazing testimonial. We always get to hear, again, all of these really cool things that people are experiencing with the technology, and everybody's different because everybody's body's different. So that will be at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, zoomnikki.com. Click the purple button and come on into the Zoom, and that will be for 30 minutes on Thursday as well. Please go to Patch the Way to look at more information, watch some amazing videos. Please get back to the person who invited you to the call tonight. Tell them that you are ready to get started on the technology now. Don't wait another day. Just know that it is working in your body. You want to get started. You want to give your body full access to what it has, what God has already given it. To it work to be the way that it was designed. So with that, good evening, everyone. We pray blessing over each and every one of you. Have a great night, everyone. See you all later
Thank
next
you.
week or next Monday.
Thank you, Nikki.
Good night.
Good
God
night.
bless.
God bless.